Hi, this is Stephen from Owner Disown. In my last video I showcased the new G14 and the G15 from ASUS. Now if you missed that video I recommend watching it, as they offer, especially the G14, a powerful gaming laptop in a thin and light chassis. For the more budget gamer, ASUS have their TUF line, which are being refreshed with the latest 10th gen Intel and AMD Ryzen 4000 CPUs, a faster 144Hz panel and a larger 90-watt battery. Available in both 15 and 17-inch models around about March or April this year. I don't have any price information as yet, but I suspect they will be around about $1,500 or less. The 10th gen Intel based units are referred to as the F15 and F17, and the AMD based units are called A15 and A17, depending on the screen size. Now, they only had the AMD models on display. The A15 can be configured with either Ryzen 5 4600H, which is a 45-watt, 6-core, 12-thread chip, and it has a base clock of 3 GHz and a max boost of 4 GHz. Now this will compete nicely with the Intel's current 9750H. Or you can go for the Ryzen 7 4800H, which has 8 cores, 16 threads, and boosts up to 4.2 GHz, and actually competes with the current i9s from Intel. Now it does have fast 3200 MHz RAM up to 32 GB running dual channel, and this should help feed the NVIDIA GPU, which starts with a GTX 1650, a 1650 Ti, a 1660 Ti or an RTX 2060. The A15 supports 2 M.2 slots, and you can configure it up to 1 TB of NVMe storage. Now at 2.3 kilograms or 5 pounds 1 ounces, it's not the lightest nor the slimmest at 25mm or 1 inch, but from the looks of it, I think it cools quite well via its 3 heatsink. Panel wise, you can have either a 60Hz or a 144Hz 1080p with adaptive sync, but both seem to only have a 45% NTSC color gamut. But it is good to see adaptive sync even for base model panels. There will be 2 battery options, a 48 watt hour and a 90 watt hour, which I expect could see battery life up to about 7 hours. They use Wi-Fi 5 and Bluetooth 5.0. The light blue lid feels like it's made of metal, and the keyboard deck has a brushed finish to it. I do like the separate mouse buttons, and the keyboard looks fine and has a separate number pad. Now I didn't get a chance to play with the backlighting, but you can certainly change the colour to what you prefer. On the left at the back is the power connector, Ethernet port, HDMI 2.0B, 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, and a USB 3.2 Gen 2 Type C, which does support DisplayPort 1.4. And you have combo headphone and mic jack. Now on the right there is a third USB, but it's USB 2 and it's a Type A port. The ASUS TUF A17 is basically a 17-inch version of the A15, although it maxes out with a 120Hz 1080p display, again with adaptive sync. It has the same CPU options, but for some reason it caps out at a GTX 1660 Ti rather than the 2060. For storage, you can configure it up to 1 TB NVMe SSD with a spare open M.2 slot and a 5400 RPM hard drive. You also have the same battery options, 48 and 90 watt hours, and it's also about the same thickness at about 1 inch. It doesn't weigh that much either, 2.6 kilograms or 5 pounds 12 ounces. There are 2 lid designs available. You have a black brushed plastic one, and like the A15, what appears to be a blue metallic finish, which I actually do prefer. The black model does seem to pick up more fingerprints. Underneath is plastic, and it's strange to see that most of the air intakes are actually blocked off. The ports are identical to the A15, with 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A's, 1 Type C with a DisplayPort 1.4, HDMI 2.0B, and a USB 2 on the right hand side. Now ASUS also have been working on their displays. Now one piece of tech is a mini LED display that allows for a variable display brightness across the whole panel. Now normal displays are edge backlit, so all of the display has the same brightness level. Now this will be great for HDR content, and they had a side-by-side comparison, and without doubt the contrast and image was much better on the mini LED display. This is still in the development stage, and they expect it to consume more power, so it still needs some work, for it to be used in laptops. The tech was demonstrated on their ROG Swift PG32UQX monitor. That's a 32-inch 4K 144Hz monitor, and this has 1152 zones of dynamically local dimming. HDR 1400 compliant, and its mini LEDs have a massive 1400 nits peak brightness. Asus also showed off their 240Hz external gaming monitor. This was the ROG Strix XG17. It's a 17.3-inch 1920 by 1080 IPS panel and has a speedy 3 millisecond response time. And by all accounts, it's the same panel that's used on their Scar and Hero 3 laptops. I did recently review the Lepow 60Hz external monitor, which was fine for general tasks, but if you have a mini PC like the Razer Tomahawk, then you want to take from place to place, then this monitor may be ideal for you. It does have its own battery in it, and it also charges via USB-C, and it has two 1-watt speakers in it, and the stand it comes with is pretty solid. One other monitor they had on display was a 360Hz G-Sync 24.5-inch, and by all accounts, Nvidia had a demo showing that the benefits of 360Hz, and most people definitely had a better shooting accuracy on it, so it's ideal for eSport players. Well, that's it from Asus. Thank you for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.